You know, I rode it for quite a bit, and then I didn't want to get back on my old sled. I was like, oh man, like it was a huge jump up. I spent quite a bit of time riding it, and then I helped out with some developing of it too, and they took some of our feedback, a bunch of the mountain riders and engineering and us worked together and built this thing. One of the main problems that they're trying to address was some of the washing out issues we've had on some steeper side hills, and a lot of people were always pointing at the T-motion, blaming that, but the main issue we've had with that is actually the ski would flex up too much, and so when you're doing a side hill and the ski flexes up, then it wants to turn the sled uphill, and then it causes that washing issue. So what they've done is they've put a new spindle that's a bit more aggressive, and then they have a new rubber stopper with some metal reinforcements in there to make it more stiff. And now the ski barely moves up, just that's as far as it goes. So it cuts through the side hill way better. They've also spent quite a bit of time on shock calibration on this machine. So the front shocks are Kashima coated, lightweight springs on them, and then I believe they're around 20% stiffer valving, so they're set up for more aggressive riding in the mountain. Comes with the 47C seat, which is really good. It's a shorter seat, so when you jump back and forth, you're not snagging your foot on it. And it comes with shorter riser on here. It's like a 4.7-inch riser, so that keeps you in more of an athletic position when you're riding the machine. And stops you from being lazy and standing up too tall. And then we got new grips on it, which are like a 2 mil thinner grip, which doesn't sound like much, but it just, you get more grip on the handlebars that way. You can wrap your hands around it easier, and then better rider input to the machine. And then we also got a new mountain strap, which is a little smaller and it's a little bit more flexible, so if you decide to smash your face off it, it's a little safer that way. And then they've got new extruded running boards all the way to the front of this machine here. So like the older ones, the snow would build up here a little bit, you have to do a bit of kicking. So this new one, it just falls right through now, and it's a little bit more rigid too, so you get a little bit better rider input through your feet to the machine. And then you also, actually there's so many options on this thing, it's awesome. There's like an adjustable limiter strap on the tunnel, so if you want to do some hill climbing or it's really steep and you're wheeling a bit, you can shorten it up and then get more ski pressure for some tech climbing. And then one of the bigger features is this new tunnel actually is basically by putting a shorter tunnel on it. Like the 165 has a 154 tunnel, and a 154 has got a 146 tunnel. And what it does is it sheds snow out the back easier. So the snow evacuates out the back. And so when you have a normal tunnel and your snow flap's coming down, that snow comes out and it hits the snow flap and it gets bounced back onto your track, and then it gets driven back in underneath the tunnel, and it binds up in the front of the tunnel, which robs horsepower. It makes it, you know, harder for the machine to plow through the snow, right? So by actually putting this on, it just makes the machine get up on top of the snow better, and it frees up a lot of power. Like the machine goes a lot better. And then the shorter tunnel as well doesn't hang up on the snow when you're like, you're doing some wheeling or digging in a bit, so it makes it more maneuverable. So the biggest benefit I noticed was like more track speed, better power transfer, and then maneuverability of the machine. Like the 165 I was riding, it handled more like a 154. And like when I was doing like a side hill on a steep slope and I wanted to turn back the other direction, I just pinned it full throttle and the thing stood up on end and I was going back like that. It was like amazing. So I was going up like this, back and forth, like wheeling and back and forth. It was pretty phenomenal. I think so. It's a big hit for me. So, and I rode it for quite a bit, and then I didn't want to get back on my old sled. I was like, oh man, like it was a huge jump up.